Hi, in this video we are going to look into multilayer shells and mostly into multilayer wall, but everything we see will apply to also roof and floors volumes. So what is a multilayer shell? So in this example here we have a complete project of multiple story composed of floors, walls and roof. So if we focus here only on the walls of the first floor, we'll see that this wall actually allows you to display each layers. If we only look at one here, we can easily see that there is some shading inside, then a structural frame, followed by shading, batten, and then finally cladding. One thing here to note is this dashed line here. We are going to look into what this is more in detail afterwards. So these layers, of course, are meant to match what will, of course, be placed inside, whether you do it manually or with the element module or, again, the auto wall. So how can we add this kind of walls? You can go into the Add menu under Architecture, and here you will have the choice whether you want to add a wall, a floor, or a roof. Let's add a wall to start with. So here we are in the Add Multilayer Wall window, where here you can choose between wall from already used in your 3D file or already saved in your user profile. You can organize them the way you want in different folders. So here you can select the one you wish, and here on the right hand side you will see the detail of the different layers with their names, their thickness, the type and the material used. Based on this you will see here the preview. It's basically a top view of your wall. And here we see again the dashed line we were looking at earlier. This dashed line is what we call the reference axis. A wall is actually added along a line that you will draw. And this is what this line is. So placing the reference at a specific location allows you to draw the wall at the needed location based on the information already available in your 3D file, whether it's a grid line, a plan view, or anything that you want to place your wall on. Once your wall is selected, there is here a few things that you can actually adjust before adding it in. First, the shell height. So this will change the total height of your wall. This is a default value that we'll see that we can set. And here we have the wall connections. Wall connection here is mostly used, and we have to be careful about which one we are going to use, mostly when using the element module. For those of you using the element module, you know that based on how walls connect with each other, it will send you or call for a specific connection detail. So here, for example, we are going to do the things correctly as we would normally do with element module with a fixed corner. So this means for element module user that it's going to fetch the corresponding connection detail based on the angle between the two walls. And here we are going only to work with straight corners in this example. When this is done, you can then add your element in 3D. You will need to keep this window open. If not, you will simply cancel the adding. But if the window takes too much space, you can of course send it to another screen or simply deactivate this option. As soon as you remove your mouse from this window, it will fold itself. And if you wish to do any modification, you simply go back in it. So here, let's add a few walls. So I'm just going to add first here on my origin. And I would like my wall to go along X, so simply X, and here I will set the length, let's say 20 feet. Here you can see if I zoom in, you see that my wall is added on this black line that was just added. And you can see here that my frame is on the left side and the shading and cladding on the right hand side. If I want here to create an inside corner, so I want to go here to the left, so along Y, I can simply press Y, and here set a value. Here, for example, minus 20 feet, because I want to go to the left side. You'll see here that the wall and connection you have will change the length of connecting wall. At first this wall was going all the way to here, but since the other wall needs to connect in this fashion, so it means that vertical wall or the wall along Y will connect to the inside of the other wall, it will then extend or stretch wall A or X along its length, making sure that it actually matches or getting flush with the outside of the other wall. You can of course here then continue your work. And one last important thing is here, I'm just going to come back here in X, and then in Y, I want this wall to go all the way here. For your last wall and first wall to be seeing each other, meaning that here I would like to change the way this wall connects with this one. Let's say that I would like here the Y or the vertical wall to be continuous in the corner. I will simply activate this, and this will change the way it connects with the next wall. So here we'll see that it's going to reduce the length of that wall, and the vertical one will extend all the way here. The thing here for this to work is you will need to make sure to select the first point of the reference axis, so the first point you have actually worked with. So here I'm just going to zoom out to see how it's going to change and affect the result once I'm right-clicking to confirm, as you can see here. Here, as you can see, one thing that is important to note is that when you add walls, the reference axis will be on the left side of the line you draw. This is something that you can change. So here, if I'm just adding a wall real quick with the shortcuts, so L and W, or I and W, you can here add a wall. So from here, let's say in Y, 10 feet. By default, it's adding the reference face, or the outside of the wall in my case, on the left side of that line. If you wish to change that, you can here use the shortcut at the bottom of the screen. V switch side, so it's simply a symmetry of your wall on your line. You have then K, next position, that allows you to place the wall either based on the reference axis, as it is by default, or from the inside of the wall, or the outside of the wall. Pressing multiple times will simply glide your wall on. Of course, this is a change that you can do on every single wall you add in the model. So like this, you don't have to always start new when adding new walls that should not be placed exactly as the previous ones. One other thing to know about the layer walls is, of course, you see here the layers used. And we will see in another video how you can actually set those, of course, create the layers, assign specific material. But here what we are interested in is mostly how we can actually see these layers. When you go to Vision, you have here the option to actually display or hide these layers. The shortcut for this is Ctrl-Shift-B. If you are familiar already with walls, floors, and roof in Cadwork, you also know that by pressing B, you will hide or display the reference face and the wall axis, showing in this case the framing direction for those of you using the element module. So, should you wish to know more about the multi-layer wall and how they can be made, modified, exported to IFC or to shop drawings, just keep watching the following videos. And again, thank you for watching.